Our very special guest this evening says, if you don't take care of your body, the most magnificent machine you'll ever be given, where will you live? And listen to this. Her timeless beauty, youthful physique, and boundless energy are testaments to the lifestyle habits that she advocates. At 66 years old, Karyn Calabrese looks nearly a generation younger without the help of surgery, Botox, and she enjoys, take your sunglasses off your head, girlfriend. She enjoys boundless energy and enthusiasm. Karyn is going to tell us how and why her way of eating could be a crucial component for your personal, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. So please join me in welcoming Karyn Calabrese to the Laura Dion-Jones Show.
Thank you so much, Laura. You know, I love every time I see you and get to spend time with you.
You know what? I feel the same because we have a good rapport. I think we used to be sisters in a past life.
Probably now too, you know. We're going along right now. So thank you so much for coming to my space today. This is my fine dining restaurant. People don't think of dining when they think of raw foods, and that's really, well, I'm about vegan eating. I'm about not eating animals or drinking cow secretions of any shape or form. And so I created restaurants so that people could see what this is like, because you say vegan, vegetarian, everybody goes, you know, they think it's tasteless and has no, and you've experienced some of my food, so you certainly know that isn't the case. So definitely with raw foods, though, people think of salads. You know, I'm going to eat lettuce and tomato and cucumber, oh my, and nothing else. So what I've done is I've created foods and recipes so that people feel a remembrance. You know, it's not about eating things that feel so foreign and uncomfortable. It's about eating delicious, tasty foods that kind of resonates with the body, because we all intuitively know how to eat right. We've just forgotten.
We have forgotten, and I have had your food, and it is outstanding. And I would like to add that I ate vegan for like 6 months, and I never felt better. And
why did we lose you?
You didn't lose me. I gave in and I had a lamb chop one evening, and then the lamb chops went, have another one.
Well, you see, that's what happens. You see, people don't realize that. That's why detoxification is so important, because people don't realize the foods that they're consistently eating, if you stop, those bad particles, those old tapes are playing, and they call you to come back. So when you detox, you break up all those old tapes and you lose a great deal of that desire. Does it happen overnight? Absolutely not. But eventually you stop craving those foods. People say to me all the time, oh, you're so, you know, you have so much willpower. And I don't have willpower. I don't want it. If I wanted it, I would do it. You know what I want that I do occasionally? A baked potato. Okay, a potato is my cheap food.
You're kidding me.
But it took years to get to that point. It didn't happen overnight. You know, and that's why I think it's a matter of people making the choice, setting an intention, allowing yourself a joyful journey, a path, unless you have some major challenge that you need to overcome, and just make it a point to every day do something different. And I guess the other big component of that is being prepared, because the world isn't set up to eat healthy.
I agree with you.
So you have to prepare yourself, and nobody ever has time. You know, I don't have time to make a this or to do that. It's so much easier to drive through or just pick something up cheap and easy. But literally, people are dying for convenience. So it's a matter of making yourself number one and taking the opportunity to say, what are my needs going to be today? You know, what am I going to do today for myself? Start the night before. We do a particular smoothie and a couple of drinks in my detox class, and I tell people, get some glass jars and make enough for the week.
That's a good idea.
Because what's going to happen
That's a
is
great
life
idea.
is going to get in. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to get ready to make your green superfood smoothie or whatever it is I've recommended for our detox, and the phone's going to ring, or the job's going to come, or the kids are going to need, and then pretty soon, whoops, no time to do it, got to run out the door, and you've forgotten about yourself. So prepare ahead of time. You know, know that you have to take care of you. Put yourself in the front line, and the beauty of that is everything else falls into place when you do that.
What I wanted to ask you, because I'm seriously thinking of coming to your detox classes.
How serious, Lori?
Pretty serious. Pretty serious. What do you do when you go out and you're not near a Karyn's?
Well,
you go to a normal restaurant.
Well, for one, I have a meal plan, so you can get a box of food delivered to your house, or you can pick it up. I have recipes. I have a cookbook. uncooked book, a cookbook. In our class that we teach in the first week syllabus, you get recipes. We have a food prep class here this Saturday coming up. But if you're not into making all the food and you haven't picked something up, you eat before you go out. You know, what I always tell people is, I'm here to spend time with you. People make it all about the food. Instead of, you know what, it's, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. I want to spend time with you, not stuffing my face.
Food is the entertainment, usually.
And looking up every so often to see who I'm sitting there with.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about spending time with you. So feed yourself before you go out. I have lots of little hints and things that you could do. You could do an energy soup. Because when you give the body the real food, and you really have to do it because you go out, that bread's on the table, and the butter, you know, and you're hungry.
That's my weakness, bread and butter.
And you know what? I tell people, you want to put on weight, eat bread and butter, you know.
Okay.
That's a fast way to put on the weight. So if you eat before you go out, then you're not going to be tempted by the bread and butter. And then if you still are tempted, tear out all the white part, just eat the crust.
That's what I do.
And ask for some olive oil.
See, I tear out all the white part, I eat the crust, but I eat it with butter, and what I got to do is get off the butter.
And ask for the olive oil.
Yeah.
And then you'll see, but I'd rather see you eat something beforehand, but if you haven't, that's a perfect plan for yourself. It's finding transitions that you can live comfortably with, because if you don't keep it practical, you can't do it, right? If people come to me all the time and go, well, I heard that you shouldn't drink anything when you're having wheatgrass, or you should only drink your vegetable juice 1 hour before. Well, if you have to follow those rules, you're not going to do anything.
It's too many rules and make it too hard for people.
For perfection. And
Yeah.
you're not having perfection in your garbage world, so why do you have to have perfection in this world? Do the best you can.
We do not have perfection in our garbage food world.
So
you're
you
right.
have to have it in this. Make it comfortable, make it convenient, make it easy to do so that you can continue it. I tell my students, you know, if you have to buy enough juice for 4 days, go for it. And people go, but do you have to drink? Really? I would rather you drink 4-day-old vegetable juice than Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
All right? You're going to be better off. So you have to weigh what's going on. You have to find the transitions, you have to find the bridges, you have to find the comfortable place to keep yourself putting one foot in front of the other, so that all of a sudden it all stops because you didn't do something perfect and right,
Yeah.
and you go totally back to the other world.
See, that's one thing when I coach people, and we do work with low carb, because right now that's
It's a transition.
it is a transition, but I hear that a lot from people. Why didn't you know? What is the problem? What is the stumbling block? Well, I fell off the wagon and I didn't know what to do, and so then I just went back to my old ways instead of, like you say.
Know, I have 3 rules when you take my class, and one of the major rules is if you leave my class and you go out and you eat steak tartare or a whole cow and drink scotch, you know what you do? You kiss your shoulders and say it's part of my process and keep on moving.
That's a good idea. Instead of beating yourself up about it and letting it ruin your whole day.
And keep on going ahead. And that's what I've done the whole time I've been in this world. I've never put myself down for any choices that I've made. You know, I joke, but it's the truth. I mean, I'm 66 years old, but in my youth, when I started all this 45 years ago, I was a pot-smoking vegetarian, you know? And people would go, oh my God, you smoke pot? Yeah, well, so, you know, you're doing stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, none of us are perfect. I accept who I am, where I am, and I just keep moving forward.
That's a good philosophy. That's an excellent philosophy. You're listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show. Commit to Get Fit with Laura Dion-Jones. I'm Laura Dion-Jones, and our wonderful guest this evening and our hostess for the evening is Karyn Calabrese, and we are in her flagship.
Yes, this is.
Tell us about this.
Can we go over
Yeah.
down over here?
Yeah.
Because people don't think of a vegan or a raw food restaurant having tablecloths or little flowers on the table. And you know what? Let's get something for you to try too while you're here. Why not? You know? Would you be interested in trying something?
Sure, we'd be interested in trying a little something, and then we want to tour show folks the store and everything.
Oh, okay.
We're in Karyn's restaurant. It's her fine dining restaurant at 1901 North Halsted in Chicago, Illinois, and we are having a great time, and she's going to maybe bring us a vegan piece of something or other. What would you like us to have?
Oh, you know what? Let's have some crepes and some tiramisu. But you had the tiramisu last time, didn't you?
No.
Oh, we want
crepes and
tiramisu.
tiramisu,
I always say
folks.
the best way to get people into health foods isn't by handing them wheatgrass, it's giving them dessert.
Really?
Because when you eat raw living desserts, you can overeat. Maybe initially you can kind of overeat a little bit because it tastes so delicious, but if you keep doing it daily, you're not going to overeat. You're not going to feel
I
the
agree.
need.
You know something,
You
though?
said you did it, and you found that out.
I did it, and I found it out, and I didn't think it was going to be enough food, and it was
More than enough
food, because I was never ever hungry. When you were on my radio show last month, and you left us with all those goodies, you have that ball that looks like a little bit smaller than a tennis ball, and it's a muffin with cranberries.
The muffins.
Oh
Yes.
my God! You should. I wish that the listeners and the viewers could
All
taste
they do
those.
is come over to 1901 North Halsted, and they can taste it, and we ship everywhere in the country, so anybody can taste it. And the beauty of those muffins is, I think I mentioned that when we started wholesaling to other stores, Sunset Foods in Highland Park and Lemon Tree and Downers Grove, they wanted nutrition facts. And so I had never counted calories. In the raw world, you don't have to count calories, and so I knew I had to do it to make people happy.
And carbohydrates.
And so we did a nutritional analysis, and those muffins, one muffin is 130 calories.
That's all.
That's all.
Wow.
And you can eat one muffin for 2 or 3 sittings.
Maybe you can, but that was the first time that I had them, though. Let me just say.
Well, I said initially that can happen.
Initially.
Yeah.
Eventually.
But
for
you'll
me.
see, it just fills you up. Yeah, 130 calories, one muffin.
Wow.
And I didn't even know what that meant, but I understand that's good.
Did you do the carbohydrate count?
No, I guess I didn't, because we just don't. When you eat raw, you don't have to worry about those things.
I know.
Your body can use everything. You know, those tables and charts. I always wonder, what's the baseline for that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
How can
exactly.
somebody decide what air you're going to breathe, how much energy you're going to expend, everything about you? So you need this amount of calories, you need this amount of carbs.
I agree.
Who can decide that? You know who can? You can, because you intuitively know how to take care of yourself. You've just forgotten.
We have forgotten, and especially
And you don't trust
heavier
it.
people. We have forgotten. We don't trust ourselves. Like a lot of people say, oh, you just listen to your body. But sometimes when you're chronically obese,
Oh yeah, but listen to your body if you've got the right thing in front of you. Don't listen to your
That's true.
body
I didn't think of
if
that.
you're driving down.
hot fudge sundae, my body says it wants. Hot fudge brownie sundae on top of it.
No. Now you have to have the right thing in front of you, and then you can listen from it. And you have to detox. You know, I'm such a strong believer in detoxification. And once you break down those layers of toxicity, it's really difficult to do the wrong thing. Of course you can. We're humans, and we can do anything wrong we choose to. But it's not so easy to do. You have to work your way back to it, as I'm sure you did when you did your little 6-month.
Back to health.
Yeah.
We're going to take a tour through your store, and I want you
Okay.
to show the box and tell us about the box and how many meals and how much it costs. But first, I want to get a little bit personal. Where did you grow up?
I
Tell
grew
us.
up in Chicago, Illinois, Hyde Park.
Okay.
I'm a Hyde Park girl, and I love Chicago. I lived in California for a short while. I was a model, dancer, actress. I lived in New York, but I'm a Midwestern girl. I love Chicago.
I do too.
I love the people. I love the city. And I love New York and California too. They're fine to visit, but and people say to me all the time, "Oh, what you do, Karyn? You'd be perfect in California." No, I'm perfect in Chicago. We need me here.
We need you here.
You
Yes,
know?
we do.
We need me here.
How do you think that your background here helped shape you?
Well, I think, really what shaped my background was all the women dying very young and overweight in my family. But in terms of, I think, you know, people go, oh, how do you live in Chicago with those winters? We're sturdy, hardy people. Do you know what I'm saying? And we have an intention. You've got to get to work, and no matter what the weather's like, you've got to get where you're going and doing what you're doing. And I think I have that resiliency of a Midwesterner. I think I have a lot of common sense that Midwesterners have, and I think that I have a lot of courtesy and love for my fellow man, because I think Midwesterners are typically warm and friendly people. And
I think we're a lot more friendly, no offense to anybody in New York, but I think we're a lot more friendly than say a lot of the New Yorkers who can be a little bit
well, yeah,
not so friendly.
but then too, when you look at those little tiny apartments they have to live in, and they're so jammed in together, I don't know if I'd be in such a good mood all the time either. If I had to live this close to somebody, I always joke and say that's why they go out to eat so late. They can't stand to be in their
I
apartments.
know. How did you get into veganism and raw food and holistic living in the first place? Was it when you
It was because my mother actually introduced me to juicing. She had cancer, and right before she was diagnosed, she had started doing vegetable juice. And I had been constipated my whole life as a child.
Me too.
I used to go to, well, and that, hey, what goes in must come out, and if it doesn't, where'd it go and what's it doing? It's rotting, it's putrefying, and it's mucking up your system. So my mother had said, hey, try this carrot juice, Karyn, and I started drinking it, and I am slightly obsessive compulsive because I started going to the bathroom with it, and so I started drinking it and drinking and drinking it. But in the meantime, not only was I going to the bathroom, but my skin was clearing up and I was sleeping better. Now, I never recommend anybody drink straight carrot juice out of the, out the gate, because that's too much concentrated sugar.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, the beginning of my journey, and I was like 18, 19 years old, it was perfect. I certainly wouldn't say it to someone now or at the age I am, but it kind of changed my body, how my biochemistry internally. And I actually never set out to be a vegan. I guess when I started drinking the carrot juice, I kind of became repulsed by steaks and red meat.
Did you really? It did the trick for you?
Yeah, but then one day I was making a pot of soup, because I've always been a good cook. I was making chicken soup, and I had thrown the chicken in the pot, and I forgot about it. And I went back later to put the vegetables in, and the skin was floating over here, and the bones were floating over here. It was like, oh my God, what are you doing? That's an animal you threw in the pot. Now, I'm saying the epiphany came, I believe, for me, because I was drinking all this vegetable juice. I was putting all this living food in my body, and I became repulsed, because I don't think it's a natural human instinct to eat dead flesh. So I became repulsed by the whole scene of what I was doing. I mean, most people, if they had to go up and chop up that animal and sink its teeth into it raw, the way, you wouldn't be so hip on eating your turkey and your chicken and your cows. And
Well, you know what? I have some friends, there's a documentary out about chickens or something, and some friends of mine saw it, watched it, and they won't eat chicken. They won't eat.
Oh, I had a girlfriend when she came from France. She said the first time she saw an American chicken and the way it looked, the color of the skin and the way, she said she could never eat chicken in this country.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How they look over there? More yellow skin, maybe?
Yeah,
More healthy?
yeah, and taut, and yeah.
Wow. Wow. How do you think you have helped change the face of vegetarianism and veganism since you arrived on the scene? Because you are one of you are Chicago's #1
Thank you.
vegan raw restaurateur, and you are such an expert that you are one of the #1 in the entire country. I do know that for a fact. You're very modest about it, but how do you think that you yourself helped change the face of the vegan and vegetarian movement?
Well, part of my philosophy is to give it away. And so I've always believed in education. Well, you can talk to you blue in the face about you should eat this, but when you totally educate a person and give them the full scenario and picture, and if you make sense, because I basically just teach common sense, that's all. I think part of it is that education has been a big piece of my whole business, and doing it for free and for pay and for everything else. I think I never turned down a chance to work with people whenever I'm asked. I'm here with you tonight. Fox News asked me on again tomorrow morning. I mean, wherever I'm asked, I go. And I think the fact that I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. I live it. And I think that's probably the most important proponent, because there's so many people out there telling you, proselytizing about how to eat and how to do, and they haven't got their own ducks in a row. They haven't healed themselves yet, So I think the fact that I've put so much energy and time into healing myself, into living what I talk about, I think people are drawn to what I'm doing and where I am. And then I've tried to give the whole vegan world a different light. When people think of vegan, they think of people that don't shave under their arms, which there isn't a problem with that. They think of people that are tree huggers. There isn't a problem with that. But we were so segregated against, it's only this kind of person.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've tried to show, in fact, for my new restaurant, my tagline is, I'm making vegan sexy.
Okay.
Okay, so it's all about being sexy and mainstream. I drive a Bentley, you know, I don't drive a Volkswagen bus. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just that I feel that I've brought it into mainstream, and I think that's what's important. I think it's for everybody, and I think for so many years people thought it was only for people on the fringe. I mean, Justice Sonia Sotomayor eats at my place when she comes into town. I have judges and doctors and lawyers, because I think that's really been my main selling point, is I've brought it into mainstream so that it looks and feels comfortable to everybody, not just, you know, because I was a hippie in the 60s myself, you know, I'm sure that I brought it into mainstream, and it's very important to me for mainstream people to feel comfortable.
Plus, I think personally, just from my experience with different vegan and raw food places, you have taken it to another level, and it's almost like gourmet vegan. Like if Sue could show your tiramisu dessert. I mean, now does this look like
you got to take a taste.
I know. Does this look like? I was hypnotized two Fridays ago by Dr. Ellie Lazar.
Oh, sure.
She did the sweet tooth extraction on me because my biggest downfall are sweets. Next to the bread crust and the butter, it's sweets. And since last Friday, I haven't had any, and I've already lost several pounds. Because what I was doing was, I had a chocolate habit every day, and to lose weight when you eat low carb, like I do currently, but I'm going to ask you, my next question is, how can I get into vegan slowly? So anyway, what I was doing was, let me taste this tiramisu. This is Karyn's raw vegan tiramisu. What's the sweetener in here?
Agave.
Agave nectar? Because I know, you know it's not sugar. Oh, this is heavenly. So can I slip you a bite? Oh my God.
Well, one of the things we do in my class to help with sugar cravings is we do an herb called fenugreek seed. And that naturally balances blood sugar levels so you stop craving sugar.
What's it called?
Fenugreek seed. Now, you can't do it for more than 3 months consistently, but you stop craving sugar. So what I do is, when you do my detox, you don't just detox. We balance blood sugar levels, protein levels, all kinds of things. And the doctors that have given me testimonials for my book and otherwise say what they love about my cleanse the most is because I'm not just tearing down and pulling out, we're tearing down and building up at the same time and balancing inwardly. So it's not just about changing what you eat, it's about balancing internally.
Holy smoke, is that good?
Okay, you can't have any more.
I know, because I was hypnotized. Remember, I had the sweet tooth extraction. Sue, our camera girl, she's giving the thumbs up. Isn't that awesome?
Thank you.
How do we explain what that tastes like? A little mocha, a lot of chocolate taste. What's the chocolate?
It's cacao.
That's,
raw
excuse
cacao.
me for saying this, folks, that's orgasmic.
Thank
that
you.
is definitely orgasmic.
Thank you.
So I would like that in a doggy bag to go. Doggy box. Okay, don't throw this away just because we're going to walk out of the restaurant portion into the other parts of the building on a tour. How would you suggest somebody ease themselves into vegan lifestyle?
Yeah, okay, right. And I'm asked that question often, and when I give my free information seminars, the first thing I tell people, the most important thing to give up and to look for is to give up all cow secretions. It's the single worst thing that human beings do consistently. And,
why?
Well,
why?
Cow's milk is created for a baby calf, not for human beings. Humans are the only animals that voluntarily do cow secretions. Humans are the only animals that do the breast milk of another animal. Humans are the only animals that do breast milk into adulthood. We are not supposed to have breast milk after we leave our mother's breast.
How did we get into this habit then?
Oh, well, for one thing, it started because people weren't able to cultivate forever, and I need to look that up. Who was the first person to milk a cow and drink the milk?
But you know what I mean?
But I know the butter came from when the pilgrims came over, and they had to store the milk, and it was an easy way to compress it and store the milk that way, and it became like butter. They would do pounds and pounds and pounds of it. But the milk, I need to research that. Thank you for asking, because
just curious, because I know.
Yeah, but who ate the first turkey? You know, look at a turkey. Who said, delicious? Who ate the first?
Cavemen? I mean,
no, I don't think.
No, you don't think so? Maybe they didn't have turkeys. Maybe they called them dinosaur something, pterodactyls or something. Please tell us what we have now in front of us.
Oh, these are crepes. It's another dessert. Like I said, the best way to get people
Nail
involved.
us with the desserts, girl.
That's right. That's what brings you in. We will bring you back to raw try my crepe.
Tell us what it's made out of.
Well, we make the shell out of a coconut meat and flax.
Yummy.
So, you know, we do, at my free information seminars, we do tastings too. So you can come to a free information seminar if you go.
When are those?
I do them twice a month. They're always on my website. The dates.
Which is? Tell us the website. KarynRaw.com, KarynRaw.com, and Karyn is spelled with a Y. And I do them twice a month without fail. And we give you food tastings. You get to try the food. The beauty of taking our food prep classes too, the cost of the class is about the cost of a meal, and you get to eat all the food while you're making the food. No kidding.
Yeah. So I do. You know what? Yes, I need and want to make money, but that isn't my primary goal. My intention is I want more people on my team. That's why I said, how did we lose you? You know, I want to do everything I can.
You want to get me back is what you want to do.
Well, you know what? Because I want you to enjoy the most that you can out of your life. I always say, look at what you've accomplished working against yourself. Imagine if you became in harmony, what you'd do.
You have a point. So what would you say to me if I came to you and wanted a consultation?
Well,
and how would you straighten me out?
Well, you know, you fill out a questionnaire. I ask you for your goals. I work with people initially the first consultation, and then I have coaches that work with the people with me.
Okay.
And you come in once a week, and you're given different goals, and you review what you're doing. But as much as I enjoy helping people that way, to be perfectly honest with you, the class is the fastest and easiest way to get to your goals, even though, because I did one-on-ones for 20, 30 years, I get 100 times the results with people in class. You know why? Because you have peer pressure. You have everybody doing the same thing at the same time. So you have that symbiotic relationship of everybody understanding the moment that you're in. It's not like you're by yourself at home looking at the green drink going, now why am I doing this again? Or, you know, oh yeah, I really want to, well, it's not a big deal if I just cheat. When you're in a group situation, it's a totally different, and I just see people get much better results. Although we get results with the one-on-ones, and I actually do one-on-ones all over the world. I have a client in Australia, I have one in Lithuania, I have people all over the world I work with, but people really get the best results, the fastest results, being in the class with everybody, you know, smelling like fenugreek at the same time, or talking about, you know, it makes it feel more normal. It makes it feel more like you have 90 to 100 people all talking about the same thing. And it's the community that you create that makes it easier. That's what it is. It's the community. It's the doing it by yourself. It's so isolating because the rest of the world is going in the other direction.
Plus, if you don't, you know, me for instance, if you don't have a lot of friends that are into vegan,
that's what I mean.
Or vegetarian,
the rest of the world,
who do I turn to?
The rest of the world is going in the other direction, and even if you're strongly motivated and you're doing right, there's a gravitational pull to take you in the other way. If you're with 100 people all talking and doing and laughing and talking about their poop and their this and their that, and it all feels so normal, you know, then it's easier.
Yeah.
It's the community created that makes it easier.
You're convincing me. Every time I'm with her, she just draws me a little closer in and a little closer in, and so I'm gonna have to go to the website, and I'm gonna have to dip my toe in and just start coming to the classes and seeing what I can do for myself.
Exactly, and the people that you meet, and the beauty of my classes too is I have people that have been detoxing with me 35 years or more. I mean, this is not, I know detox is the big buzzword now, but I've been doing it and teaching it for about 35 more years. And I have people that have been detoxing with me that long. We're kind of like our own little cult kind of thing. But then you have all the new people that come, so you have all the older people who have been doing it, not old chronologically, but they have the experience and they buddy up with you, and it's a wonderful camaraderie. People make new friends forever, and we just have a lot of fun.
Okay, you're convincing me. Could we go on a tour?
Absolutely, I would love to. And I'm going to make sure none of this is put away so that you can get a puppy bag to take it home.
Thank you.
Okay.
We will be back here after the show.
Okay.
So just make sure you guard it with your life.
It's a juice bar cafe.
Juice bar cafe.
This is the dessert bar.
This is the dessert bar, so I can't even begin to tell you what this looks like, but just think of when you go into Whole Foods and that beautiful dessert case. Well, this is Karyn's, and it's all vegan raw.
100%.
100%, no sugar.
Cupcakes, cinnamon rolls, apple pie, yin yang cake, chocolate cake. Oh, we have a new. I'm really going to get you with this one, but this is the last of it. We have a new.
She's got a new decadent spread that she's going to give us a taste.
Chocolate Satisfaction.
Does it satisfy our chocolate cravings?
Well, you'll tell me, Laurie. Okay.
Okay. Hang on. Let me get it so I don't drip it all over the floor and myself. And you know what, Ellie? You hypnotized me to get rid of my sweet tooth extraction, but this isn't sugar. And you know Karyn, so maybe this is legal sweets or something like that.
Hey,
It's
Laurie,
awesome.
I'll give it right back to you, okay?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Crispy Caesar squares. Oh my God. Pumpkin seed cookies.
Cajun bacon.
What is Cajun bacon?
It's actually eggplant that we season and dehydrate.
No kidding. How cool is that? I'm going to have to take some of that home.
And we have an orange Julius. We have a complete juice bar and smoothie bar.
Incredible, incredible. If you would like to see this, the video of this interview is going to be posted on my YouTube channel, Laura Dion-Jones, all one word, and it's on YouTube. Or go to my website for information. And let's give Karyn's website again. It's Karyn's Raw, Karyn Raw. RAW.com. So get yourself over to her website so you can see all the stuff that we're talking about.
Well, not only, I try to take all the chemicals out of my life. So I have my shampoo, my conditioner. All I use on my skin is coconut oil. Feel it?
You're kidding.
No.
Wow.
This is
You're
60,
kidding
60,
me.
No. But we have some wonderful...
Show me that coconut oil. You use that on your skin?
Yeah.
Can you eat it too?
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's part of the class. These are all things we use in class. We have our own sunscreen and toothpaste and nail polish remover, and we have some fancy soaps. I mean, everything. I have all of our cleaning products. My cleaning products are so pure you could actually eat them.
No kidding.
I wouldn't advise it, but you could. That's how pure they are.
And what is over here on these shelves?
This is my line of products that I use in the detox class, but a lot of people just use them on a regular basis. I have systemic enzymes and digestive enzymes and oil of oregano. It's like the panacea of everything. The fenugreek seed I talked about, the green living fiber. I mean, these are just all products we use in the class, but you don't have to be in the class to use them. And then I have a lot of food products and things that you could make yourself, like with a lot of the recipes in my book, these are the products you would use, like goji berries and sesame seeds and cacao powder and just everything.
Wonderful. And this salad bar, I have to say, I've eaten lunch here.
This is the all-you-can-eat buffet.
All-you-can-eat buffet salad bar, $8.99 a pound. And I got to tell you something, it's fabulous.
Almond pate.
That almond pate is killer.
And then we have several dressings you can choose from. I'm known for my Caesar dressing, but I have a lemon herb dressing. We give you a little Cajun cheese crumble, cracker cheese crumble to put on top of your salads. It's just, and we change this daily.
I like that one, that Brussels sprout salad. I had that last time I was here. It was fabulous.
It's changing in this is one of my signature,
the gazpacho?
The gazpacho. I've been making that since my very first restaurant.
Kale chips? I'm taking home a box of those.
And I was the first one to do kale chips, by the way, in the country.
The first one to do kale chips. And then she always has, when you come into her cafe and juice
sampling
bar, she has these spreads, right?
Right. Sour cream, a basil cheese, and a cheddar cheese. No dairy.
No dairy. These are, you know what? One is my favorite, and this is made with cashews, isn't it? The cheddar cheese, because I buy that every time I come here.
And we make a white bread.
We were wondering what that was.
It's bread. My bread. Here, I'll show you with the whole. I can't say the whole loaf, but
it's not bread as we know it.
No. This is white bread.
Okay.
This is homemade raw brown bread. We have all these grab-and-go meals, so you can, from a nut loaf to samosas to pasta primavera, sea wraps.
Those look awesome.
Seaweed salad. This is one of my favorite veggie fresh rolls. Meatball sub. I mean,
And this is all
deep dish
vegan,
pizza and all raw.
live, and these she has them in the refrigerated case.
Grab and go.
Look at that, grab and
dish
go, gourmet deep dish vegan
zucchini
pizza.
quiche.
Sue just bought one of those. It was awesome. We were nibbling on it before the show.
And then if you just need some chocolate to go, I have my great little raw chocolate bars you can keep in your purse for when...
There's no sugar in there.
There's no sugar and there's no dairy.
Oh, good. Then I can eat it because it's not like...
And here's a box of food, a week's worth of food that you can get.
Tell us about this. Take a look inside for our meals at home for the week. 5
Yeah.
days, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert.
And snacks. And you can go on the website and see what the menu is for the week. And I'm told it's more than enough food for the week. You actually have food left over sometimes. But it's some of the stuff that we have in the restaurant, and sometimes it's new stuff, like this is a special pizza that we made for the dinner.
That looks great.
So we make special things. Here's some granola, homemade granola, and you'll get a nut milk to go with it, and all kinds of cheeses and spreads and desserts. And
So this is your entire food for the week.
from the raw vegan restaurant, we also do a box from the cooked vegan restaurant too.
Okay.
So you can, you can ease your way in if you're not ready to go raw right away. And we do that in my class too. You're raw or cooked the first week, and then the second week you go 100% raw. So we kind of ease into it.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Okay,
So
let's
get
move on.
cooked
I
around.
see you also too have ice cream. And
We have ice cream as well, and you know what? I'm going out next week. I'm buying a soft serve ice cream machine. And we made a raw cone. So
You're kidding me.
Yep. Anything I'm missing, I develop in this world.
let me ask you something. What do you sweeten your ice cream with? Do you use stevia?
No, I'm sorry, Lori, because I don't like the taste of stevia. But it is one of the better sugar alternatives out there. It actually helps balance blood sugar levels too.
What you use?
No, stevia.
Stevia,
is.
'cause I
That's
use
one of the
stevia,
better ones.
but-
We use coconut sugar, or we use agave, or we use honey.
Okay.
But stevia is very good for you. But like I always joke and say, this is all for me. I just share it with you. I personally don't care for the taste of stevia, but it's very good for you.
I must have gotten used to it because I've
It's
been
very
using
good.
it now
It's
for a
very
couple of
good
years.
for you. And we have fresh juices that we made with a special juicer that's good for up to 4 days, like it's an hour old. We make our own ice creams. So just everything that I want is right here.
Everything that you do want is right here.
Everything I need,
This is
everything I want.
one-stop shopping.
Yeah, because you can go on in the back to the classroom and
Show us the
Okay.
rest of it. She has books. She has her book, Soaking
Yeah.
Nuts.
and
Soaking
we have
Nuts
other
too.
shampoos. I carry other people's products, not just my products. So just about anything you're looking for, if I believe in it, it's going to be here. This is the classroom where we have the trampoline classes that are out of this world, rebounding classes. One girl wore her monitoring class, and she used up 480 calories in 1 hour in this class.
On the trampoline?
Yeah, and we're not just jumping, we're doing twisting for the love handles, and we get on a ball and we do core work for our tummies.
See, I want to come to that class, but I'm afraid I won't be able to make it through the whole hour.
Everybody can't. You do what you can.
Okay. And just modify it? Is
Yeah,
it- if you guys are jumping real high, I
no,
can
but
just
nobody
bounce
is.
a
There are
little.
people. There was one woman in class that hardly moved last time. You just do it. There's no judgment here, Miss Lori.
Okay.
You're judging you. We're not
I
judging
am
you.
judging me. I'm thinking I'm going to go and I'm going to be like, you know.
And guess what? That means you don't do it at all. That's rule number 2 in my class. You're not allowed to judge yourself. Because if you do, you put a ceiling and you go nowhere.
You're right. Tell us about the ballet bars here.
Well, that's one of the forms of exercise I do is ballet. But we use them in the trampoline class, too, because we do some twisting and stretching.
Or in case I need handlebars
No.
for my first time on the trampoline.
You won't need handlebars, Lori.
Training wheels?
No, you're not going to need training. You're going to have so much fun with my teacher, and he's so cute. My teacher is phenomenal, and he's 63 years old. And when you see the body and the energy on him, you go, oh my God, I want that too. So this is the multi-purpose room. I do free informations in here, the detox. We actually can open this up, and this is where we have our cooking classes. We'll have one this Friday. We have a raw class coming up. And under my Buddha, there's a stove, but we use it for raw classes and cook classes.
Okay.
My oven is a dehydrator and an oven, so we do all the classes
We
in
can
here.
get one of these installed in our homes.
This is what I have in my home, a thermidor.
kidding me.
Oh, yeah, just in my kitchen. I have a thermidor. This is very similar to my kitchen at home.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
While we're walking, why don't you tell us a teeny bit about your daughter and how she's never had meat in her
Yeah,
whole
she's
life?
40. She's 41 years old. People think she's in her 20s.
God, you're kidding me.
Yeah, well, she did eat some dairy when she went to college, and she formed some skin diseases, you know, eczema and other things, but she got over it because she came back, and she detoxes regularly. She isn't 100% raw, but, you know, she's vegan, and she's, you know, a typical young American woman, but she's not, you know, she never smoked or anything like that. Here's all of our equipment that we use. Our yoga equipment, and these are the balls that we do sit-ups on and things, and these are the little twisty things.
First class equipment. Wonderful,
These are our-
wonderful
that's our
facility.
equipment.
Absolutely wonderful facility.
And in here we do, this is our nail, where we do organic manicures and pedicures.
Manicure and pedicure room here
How are
at
you?
Karyn's.
We're just showing the room if you don't mind.
We're back in the spa now.
No parabens, no, come on in, no parabens, no
parabens.
formaldehyde. It's all done naturally.
Everything natural. Awesome.
And then on this side,
Across the hall.
we do body wraps and facials.
Facial.
And we have an infrared sauna that we put you in before that helps detox the body and
Infrared
pulls,
sauna.
yeah, it pulls chemicals and things out of the body. And then we do you a body wrap on you. We also have a vaginal steamer. Can we talk about that on the radio?
Yeah, sure. Why would we need a vaginal steamer? Pray tell.
Well, why wouldn't we? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn.
Well, the vaginal steamer, actually this is very popular in Korea and Japan. And what it does is the herbs actually balance women hormonally, and it tightens the vagina, and it just makes you feel great.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's very
Put that on the
hormonally
list
done.
for me.
Things to
All
do.
of us can use a little tightening in that area, if you ask me. This is a spectacular
Okay.
facility, and I hope that you're getting the visual. You
Oh,
guys
let's
who are
keep going.
Listening at home, and now we're entering the spa. itself.
Yes, where we have our beautiful Leanne.
Hi, Leanne. How are you?
One of our wonderful
Are these
receptions.
apples real? Every time I
Of
come
course
here,
they
there's a
are. Our
magnificent
guests,
bowl of green apples.
yes, our guests are encouraged to have an apple at the end of their therapies. You
No
know,
kidding.
an apple a day keeps the doctor away, they say. And we say Karyn's a day will keep the doctor away too, if
Karyn's a
you choose.
day, yes.
Well, this is where we do our makeup consultations. I have my own makeup line and my own skincare line, and so we have estheticians and makeup artists that can help you. Once again, our packaging is what is it? Recyclable.
Recyclable.
Yeah, recyclable. And our brushes are vegan brushes, and they're very soft, because a lot of people don't realize that your brushes that you use for your makeup is little squirrel tails and other
Oh,
parts of the
don't tell me
animals.
that.
Oh, yeah. So we have.
Squirrel tails. Thanks for the visual.
So we
Put your makeup on in the morning with a squirrel tail blush brush.
So we have vegan brushes, and then in here is where we do our one-on-one counseling.
Okay.
And we also do live cell analysis, where we take a little pinprick of your blood and you can actually see the state of what's going on internally. And a lot of people like to do this before a detox and then see how things clean up internally. Dr. Terry Mason, head of healthcare in Chicago, has actually done this with us.
No
and
kidding.
He sent me clients, and he actually does our meal program.
I was on his radio show.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
well, he actually became a vegan because of me. I don't know if he always tells everybody, but 10 years ago he started here in one of my classes.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it rubs off.
So here's, these are colon therapy rooms. This one is in use. And you just lie here very comfortably. We have a little TV so you can watch different videos. You can get oxygen while you're doing it. You know, oxygen really helps stave off. It's been told that it helps stave off different diseases and things. And so we give you oxygen and it relaxes you. And it's a very comfortable process.
Tell us about the benefits of colon cleansing. Because
Well-
I'm very intrigued with this because I would like to come and have this treatment.
Absolutely. Well, the thing of it is, we have about 5 feet of colon in there. And most of what you're eating isn't going in and coming out. People carry anywhere from 6 to 30 pounds of crap in them. I mean, if you have any kind of a belly, you're full of...
You're full of crap.
Right.
Literally.
Howard Lyman, the guy that wrote The Mad Cow, he was on Oprah's show and everything, he talked about in his book that they did an autopsy on what's his name, John Wayne, and found 75 pounds of fecal matter in him.
You mean John Wayne as in John Wayne, the Duke John Wayne?
Yeah, they found 75 pounds.
75 pounds?
And like 35, 40 pounds in Elvis. Most people are walking around with 6 to 30 pounds
Oh,
of
sign me up. I'm coming next week. That's it. I'm going to try it. How often do you recommend getting the
Well,
treatment?
we do them during our detox classes. I'm actually a trained colon therapist also, and one of the things I learned is that people should do a series of 10 once or twice a year, just to get to the cecum.
And how often do you get the treatments?
Some people come once a week for a month or so, or you can do 2. It's generally recommended that you do 4 in a row. You do 2, you wait a day, and then do another one because it takes time to loosen stuff up and get it out. But people get results sometimes even just with one.
How long does it take?
You're on the table for 45 minutes, but you're scheduled in the room for an hour.
Okay, just curious.
And it's amazing, but when you do the detox, we do quite a few of them.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's a big part of it for those who choose.
Well, how could you not? Once you start getting into this, once you start learning, and once you know the benefits of this whole treatment.
Well, I changed the name to Karyn's Inner Beauty Center and O2 Day Spa because you can get oxygen when you get your mani-pedi. We do an oxygen facial. You get oxygen when you're getting your colonics. We have little oxygen stations around the place where you can sit and just do oxygen, different flavored oxygens. And the whole premise behind that is when man was created, the oxygen levels were at 38%. After the Industrial Revolution, they were down to 22%. We're living in the teens in terms of oxygen in our environment. All cancer cells.
You mean this everything that we're breathing?
Outside, it's only in the teens, and in some places like Gary, Indiana, 9% oxygen.
Get out.
All cancer cells, herpes viruses, all viruses are anaerobic, meaning they can't live in an oxygenated environment. So we're not getting it from the air we breathe, and we're not getting it from the food if you're eating primarily cooked food.
Okay.
We're supposed to be in a rainforest. Humans are tropical animals. We're supposed to be living at about 80 degrees with lots of green and oxygen around us. So we've really put ourselves in very frightening circumstances.
Wow.
So I created this spa so you can get lots of oxygen whatever you're doing around here. So it's O2 Day Spa.
Let me ask you a question because we're running out of time.
Okay.
How do you see us?
Well, can I just say real quick?
Yes.
We have a hyperbaric chamber upstairs. We have ozone therapy upstairs. We have another infrared sauna. We have another facial room. We have ear candling. We have massage. And we have, I said hyperbaric, so we have all kinds of oxygen.
Tell us about the Rife tube.
Oh, and we have 2 Rife machines. And I don't like to make claims, so I'd like to invite your listeners to go to Royal Rife, R-I-F-E, on the internet and look at what he's doing.
RoyalRife.com?
Yeah, on the internet.
I have a question. How do you see us putting an end to our country's obesity epidemic? Have you thought about that?
Putting an end, I don't know that there will ever be an end. I think that, all right, I think taking care of yourself first because it kind of falls off around you. I think making more places like this available, I think more education. I think getting big business out of the food business, but I don't see it happening because it's all politics and money.
Because it's money.
It's politics and money. But if you could get big business out of our food industry, it would make all the difference in the world. So I think it's up to each person to responsibly make choices, to educate themselves and make choices to shun those big business places. I mean, I won't even go into a Starbucks for a cup of tea, excuse me, because I won't support them in any way, shape, or form.
Tell me what one word best describes you.
Tenacious.
Okay. And who is your hero?
Oh my God, who is my hero? Well, I love people like Gandhi and Martin Luther King. I love pacifists, but I think if I were to pick a female hero, well, I kind of loved Audrey Hepburn. Is that
Me
some movie?
too. Audrey and Catherine, both the Hepburn girls. I love both of them. What's your ideal way to spend a day off when you have one?
On my boat, if it's summertime, because it's the only time I truly relax. Although I just built a kitchen for myself on the dock because I love to cook. So.
You're kidding. Everybody come on down to Karyn's
and
dock.
that's Karyn's kitchen on the dock. Because, I love to cook. I love to make food. I love to be in the kitchen.
Oh, call us when you're going down there. I'm coming. I want to be there for that cruise. Give us your 2-minute takeaway.
My 2-minute takeaway. I think that people need to put all their time, money, and energy and intention into themselves. no matter where it takes you, whether it's the wrong road initially, but just putting yourself number one in your life and realizing that this is the most magnificent gift you'll ever be given in your life. And it's worth every penny, every moment, every second that you can do something good for yourselves. And like I remind people that if you don't take care of your body, like you said, the most magnificent machine you'll ever be given, where will you live?
Where will you live? That's one of my favorite quotes. That's why when I see you, I always bring it up. Karyn Calabrese, I want to thank you for being such an excellent hostess and a wonderful guest, and for joining us this evening on Commit to Get Fit with Laura Dion-Jones. And it's
I love you, Lori. Okay, I know I'm interrupting you, but
you just want to convert me.
I'm giving
in
you
a big way. She wants to convert me. Fitness includes a healthy mind and body, and I want to make sure that we leave you with really good motivation and weight loss tools. So please call me to become your motivational weight loss coach. I specialize in corporate, individual, and organizational programs tailored specifically for you. And if you would like to get into detoxing or any of the things that we've talked about this evening, and you live in Chicago, please go to Karyn's website at Karyn Raw, Karyn, Raw, RAW.com, and all the information's there. And maybe I will see you at one of her...
The Remarkable Women. That's what we're going to see, everybody.
You know, and also, too, thank you for reminding me of that here on my notes, is, and we want to thank again Karyn, our guest today, because she's going to do the catering. I'm always at your service, and so is Karyn, to help you in whatever way we can and to get rid of your weight once and for all. Thank you for listening. Thanks for the happy. Semper Fi, kids, and pray for peace. Thank you for tuning in.